Well, this next question is from another media partner and focuses on the economy and employment. Both were in the top 5 issues voters are most concerned about. That is according to our exclusive statewide poll.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Blindfloor from KTBS TV in Shreveport. Name one specific thing you would do to attract business to Louisiana, and by doing so, would keep young, educated professionals from leaving the state.
Well, you will have 1 minute again to respond. We begin with Ms. Sharon Hewitt. What is one specific thing you would do to attract more business to the state of Louisiana?
Well, there's 2 deterrents, I will say. I'm going to talk about 2 things. Businesses, first of all, want a stable, predictable, simple tax climate. We have to get to where we have a fair tax climate for businesses. We have to get to 0 state personal income tax, and I think that we're on a path to do that. I have a Hewitt blueprint, by the way, on my website where you can read more about my ideas on how we're going to do that. We also have to get rid of the lawsuits. We are one of the worst states in the country in terms of lawsuits, and we have to do legal reform. Businesses do not want to be here. Oil and gas companies are a great example of that. The Attorney General has sided with the trial lawyers in suing the oil and gas companies and driving that industry out of our state. As a former oil and gas executive, I understand the energy business, and I'm going to make sure that those companies know that Louisiana wants to be a leader in energy. We want to be energy independent, and I'm going to make sure they have a place right here in Louisiana.
Ms. Hewitt, can you clarify lawsuits from whom?
Ask me again, I'm sorry?
Lawsuits from whom?
The Attorney General has partnered with the trial lawyers in suing 200 oil and gas companies in Louisiana, and he is not a friend of the oil and gas industry. This is something that is driving the industry, our #1 industry in the state, out of the state of Louisiana. This is our state's bread and butter. The entire country depends on Louisiana to provide energy.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Hewitt. All right, Mr. Stephen Waguespack.
It's more than one thing to attract new business to Louisiana, so I'll try to be quick. First of all, we do have to simplify our tax code and make it more easy to comply, especially for small business. Right now, it's very complicated to pay their sales taxes. You have to have a streamlined process for them. The second thing is workforce. Companies are around the move in America, and they're going to states that have a qualified workforce, someone that can read and write and have good soft skills and stay off drugs. We're going to revamp our workforce development system and provide that. The last thing is Baton Rouge has tried for years to make every region of the state look and feel the same. The strengths and weaknesses in the New Orleans region are different than in Northeast Louisiana, Northwest, Central, etc. So I'm going to have regional goals for each one. Sometimes it's a mega site for the next auto plant. Sometimes it's developing that river corridor here between Baton Rouge and New Orleans to bring in new manufacturing. Every region will have its own game plan and a partner me as governor, and we'll exercise each region's plan to be attractive to the entire country.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Waguespack, for that answer. Mr. Hunter Lundy.
Yes. To get jobs, we have a 2-fold approach. Right now, clean energy is one of the approaches. So we announced 2 weeks ago that there's going to be a green hydrogen plant built in Calcasieu Parish. Next, they've already approved the solar area that's going to feed the green energy, and the reason why is they're going to create methanol, because all of your maritime business in Europe is going to methanol. So we're going to have methanol making plants all over the state of Louisiana. They're going to build green hydrogen plants everywhere. We got Shell doing a biodiesel facility for $1.6 billion in Convent, Louisiana. They're going to build metallic blades for the wind farms in Iberia, Louisiana. So this has all already happened. I agree, we want our oil and gas industry to come back full force, in fact. But as a governor, my job is to get jobs for Louisiana. It's to get every bit of revenue we can to create work for our people. And so it's a 2-pronged approach. But right now, clean energy is on and going full force into effect.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Sean Wilson.
Well, as governor, I'm going to be wise. That means we're going to do workforce development and build a workforce for the future. I'm also going to invest in infrastructure. We're going to build the types of things and leverage the infrastructure we have, whether it's the Mississippi River, our rail system, our port system, our interstates. Look at what we have in the state. We cannot be beaten when it comes to the natural infrastructure we have. We're also going to talk about sensible reforms in terms of taxes, because businesses, small and large, need transparent, predictable, understandable tax structures, and that's going to be a paramount piece of what we're going to do in my administration. And then last, we're going to invest in education. That's a secondary part of building that workforce, because we're going to have to ensure that vocational education and universities and all of the education educational systems with K-12 are input and in line and in sync with the jobs of the future, whether it's clean energy, whether it's dealing with renewables, hydrogen, wind, electrification, all of those elements. A Wilson administration will absolutely be wise in terms of growing business in this state.
All right, Mr. Wilson, thank you so much. And John Schroeder.
Look, I've said this before, there's really no new ideas that you haven't heard. We've heard all the ideas. This really comes down to leadership and who has the experience and how to do that. I say this a lot. We have to entrepreneur our way through these things, but people are leaving this state for the same reason they're not coming. We don't have safe communities, we don't have a first-class public school system, and you constantly have to deal with the cronyism and the corruption of this state. I am tired of the 85 percentile who go to work every day, do what they're supposed to do, pay their taxes, follow the rules, only have the 15% benefit from the politics of all of this. I've seen it, I watched it. You manage a $60 billion operation, you see it all the time. It's one of the major reasons I'm running. We need a CEO who is incorruptible, that the rules will be the rules and access is equal to all. Because if you can't do that, all these other ideas won't matter. It's the foundation that we have a problem with.
All right, Mr. Schroeder, thank you so much.